Hey everyone, and welcome back. Looks like we got a ton of requests to look into the electrical industry.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of you are curious about where things are headed.
Definitely a hot topic.
Yeah.
And get this, all our sources point to one big thing. A major labor shortage coming up in the electrical industry.
Kind of a perfect storm brewing, actually.
No, okay, so hold on. Before everyone runs out to stock up on candles and flashlights, let's break this down. We've got reports, articles, even some links to resources.
A lot to unpack.
Yeah, for sure. And they all seem to agree on this labor shortage thing. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are some really smart ways to tackle this. Plus, some super cool tech on the horizon.
You know, it's interesting. We always hear about the future of work. But when you look at a specific industry, like electrical work, it makes it so much more real. You can see those trends happening right now.
Totally. Okay, so let's start with the labor shortage. Everyone knows experienced electricians are retiring, right? But it's way more than that, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The bigger issue is that fewer young people are going into the trades. And that's where things get interesting.
Okay, so why aren't younger people becoming electricians? I mean, is it a perception thing? Do they think it's, like, less prestigious than some tech job or something?
There's probably some of that, like this bias towards four-year college degrees.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think a lot of young people just don't know how much money you can make in the trades.
True. Especially as an electrician, with everything becoming more electric.
Right. Like it's only going to get more important.
And then you've got the technology piece. The skills you need to be an electrician now are totally different from even a few years ago.
Huge difference.
We're talking about smart homes, renewable energy, all that.
It's not your grandpa's electrical work anymore.
Exactly. So between the retiring electricians and the new skills needed, that's creating a huge gap.
Exactly.
So even if you're not an electrician, this affects everyone. Think construction delays, costs going up for everything. It's all connected.
It is. And that's why we have to talk about upskilling. Not just to stay competitive, but to actually do well in this new landscape.
One of the reports actually broke it down into 3 areas for upskilling. First, there's smart systems and all that Internet of Things stuff.
Like smart homes, building automation, all that.
It sounds futuristic, but it's happening now.
Oh, absolutely. Smart thermostats, security systems, appliances you can control with your phone. It's becoming standard in new homes and renovations.
So electricians need to know how to install and fix all that. A whole new set of skills.
Definitely. And then you've got renewable energy growing like crazy.
Solar panels, energy storage, chargers for electric cars.
Everywhere you look.
And that needs specialized knowledge too, right? You can't just wire up a solar panel like a regular light.
Nope. Safety protocols, specific codes, all that comes into play.
Gotcha. Then the third area for upskilling they talk about is safety and compliance.
Might not sound as exciting as smart homes or solar panels.
True, but it's super important.
Oh, for sure. If you're hiring an electrician, you want someone up to date on all the latest safety stuff, especially with all the new tech.
Absolutely. It's peace of mind for everyone.
Exactly. And for businesses, this kind of upskilling helps them stand out.
Oh, definitely. They can offer more specialized services, charge more, maybe, because they have the expertise.
And skilled workers tend to be happier. They stay with the company longer. Good for everyone.
Okay, so upskilling is key. But there's more to it than just that. One of the articles talked about digital tools, too, like software for scheduling and invoicing, even digital blueprints.
It's not just about working with your hands anymore.
Right. Have you ever had a project delayed because the contractor was a mess? Losing track of stuff, double booking crews? These digital tools help streamline everything. Makes it easier for the electrician and the client.
All about efficiency and looking professional, which matters a lot.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. Sustainability was another big topic that came up.
More than just a buzzword these days.
Absolutely. One of the sources even talked about LED certification.
You know, that green building rating system.
Yeah, it's like the gold standard for sustainable construction.
And electricians who know about LED, they can really help make buildings more energy efficient.
Imagine if every home was wired to be as efficient as possible right from the start.
Saves money on those energy bills.
And it's good for the environment. Everyone wins.
Exactly. It's about being smarter with how we build.
There are actually a ton of resources out there for electricians who want to learn more about sustainability.
Yeah, like the Department of Energy and the National Renewable Energy Lab.
We'll link to some of those in the show notes. But it's great to see all that support.
Definitely encouraging.
Okay, so we've talked about the labor shortage, the need for new skills, and the whole sustainability thing. But what about attracting new talent?
The million-dollar question. Right now, A lot of young people just don't see the trades as a good career option.
And that's a problem because, as we've been saying, the work is becoming more technical and in demand.
Huge problem.
So how do we change that perception? You sent over some sources with some pretty interesting ideas. First, we need to talk about how much money you can make.
Yeah. Skilled electricians can earn a great living, often more than someone with a 4-year degree, and without all that student loan debt.
Right. It's not just about the money, though, is it?
Nope. It's about having a job that's in demand, a job that can't be sent overseas or done by a robot. You can't outsource electrical work.
That's huge, especially these days.
Another thing is apprenticeships. You learn and earn at the same time. It's a great way to get experience and build your skills, all while getting paid.
And those are becoming more popular, which is awesome.
And then there's the technology factor.
Uh-huh.
This isn't your grandpa's electrical work. It's high-tech, innovative, that might appeal to young people who grew up with all this tech.
Okay, so we've touched on a lot of challenges and possible solutions. Let's talk more about apprenticeships now. How do they actually work? And why are they so great for both the apprentices and the companies that hire them?
Well, for the apprentice, it's amazing. Hands-on training while earning a paycheck. You're learning a trade, making connections, and setting yourself up for a good career, all without taking on tons of student loan debt.
That's a big deal these days.
And for employers, it's a smart way to train new talent, to actually deal with those labor shortages we keep talking about,
It's like investing in the future of the company.
passing down that knowledge to the next generation.
And it helps a whole industry, raises the quality, makes everyone more professional.
Definitely.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the people. But what about technology and automation? How are those changing the electrical industry?
Great question. One of the sources talked about how the industry is embracing tech in a big way.
It's not just about doing things faster or easier, is it? It's about changing how the work actually gets done.
Right. We're talking about smart tools that can diagnose problems and tell you how to fix them. Digital systems for managing projects and communicating. Even AI doing maintenance, like predicting when something needs to be fixed before it breaks down.
Whoa, hold on. So my house can basically tell me when it needs electrical work. No more surprises.
That's the idea. And all these tech advances actually help with the labor shortage, too.
Wait, how?
Well, technology makes electricians way more efficient. They can do more in less time. So one electrician with the latest tech can do what it used to take several electricians to do.
That makes sense. It leads to another important thing, support systems. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by all this change, but there's help out there.
Right. All those links you sent about government and industry resources, those are great places to start.
They talked about grants for training, tax breaks for apprenticeships, all these partnerships between businesses and schools.
It's encouraging to see that kind of commitment to the electrical industry.
Yeah.
It shows that people recognize how vital it is. We need skilled electricians to keep everything running. And it shows that there are so many different ways to be successful in this field, whether you're already an electrician or just starting out.
So much to think about. But before we jump into part 2, I have a question that's been on my mind this whole time. With all this technology, what's AI's role going to be in an electrician's job, say, 10 years from now? Will it be a partner or will it take over?
That's a great question. And it's one we're going to explore in more detail in the next part of our deep dive. So stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the electrical industry's future.
We left off with a pretty big question, didn't we?
Yeah, we were talking about AI.
The big question, what role will AI play in an electrician's job 10 years from now?
Will it be a partner? Will it be a replacement?
A competitor?
I'm dying to know your thoughts on this.
Well, it's tough to predict the future with like 100% certainty.
Right.
But I think based on what we're seeing in other industries,
Yeah?
it's pretty safe to say that AI is going to have a major impact on how electricians work.
Okay, so how could AI actually be used on the job? Can you give us some examples?
Well, one area that comes to mind is diagnostics. Imagine a tool that can, like, analyze an entire electrical system,
Uh-huh.
pinpoint problems,
Yeah,
and even suggest solutions.
that would be amazing.
Right.
No more like spending hours just looking at wiring diagrams, trying to find one little faulty connection.
Exactly.
The AI could find it like that?
In seconds.
Yeah.
And it can learn from every repair.
Oh, wow.
Right. So it builds up this huge database of knowledge that all electricians could use.
So it's like having an AI assistant
Exactly.
right there with you on every job,
Guiding you.
guiding you through the steps.
Yeah, and think about it. Faster, more efficient work,
Yeah.
fewer mistakes.
Uh-huh.
And it means a safer environment for everyone.
So I know some people might be listening to this and thinking, oh no, the robots are coming for my job.
Right.
But I think it's more nuanced than that, right?
It is. I see AI as more of a collaborator than a replacement.
Okay.
AI can handle the repetitive stuff,
Yeah.
the data-heavy stuff.
Right.
It frees up electricians to do the things that require creativity,
Uh-huh.
problem-solving skills.
Yeah, the things that AI just can't do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. AI might be able to spot a faulty circuit,
Uh-huh.
but it can't reassure a homeowner who's freaking out because the power went out during a storm.
At human touch
Right.
is really important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the physical side of the job.
Sure.
You know, crawling through attics,
Right.
working in tight spaces,
Right.
dealing with unexpected problems.
Yeah, robots aren't quite there yet.
Not quite.
Okay, so it sounds like there's room for both AI and humans in the future of electrical work,
That's not.
each one bringing their own strengths to
Yeah,
the job site.
Yeah, and this collaboration could even lead to new jobs.
Oh, interesting.
We might even see like AI electrician specialists
Mm-hmm.
who are trained to work specifically with these AI systems.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, almost like a bridge between the technology and the more traditional side of the job.
And those specialists would be in high demand.
Oh, absolutely.
It could be a great career path.
Definitely an area to watch.
So AI is a big piece of the puzzle. But what about other technologies? Any other ones you're particularly excited about?
Oh, there are a few. One that I think is super fascinating is 3D printing.
3D printing for electrical work.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can picture that.
So imagine being able to print like custom components or conduits
Uh-huh.
right there on the job site
Oh, wow.
whenever you need them.
No more waiting for parts to be shipped.
Exactly.
Supply chain issues are gone.
You just print exactly what you need when you need it.
That's amazing.
And it opens up all these possibilities for customization.
Oh, wow.
You could create really complex electrical systems that are tailored to the needs of the building.
And I imagine it would make the industry more sustainable too, right?
Absolutely.
Less waste.
Yeah, if you're only printing what you need.
Right.
You eliminate all that waste that comes from traditional manufacturing.
It's better for the environment and the bottom line.
A win-win.
Okay, so 3D printing, that's one. And then there's also augmented reality and virtual reality,
Oh,
which can be used for training simulations,
yeah,
even collaborating remotely.
exactly.
I can see how that would be useful. Imagine like a really experienced electrician
Yeah.
guiding a new trainee through a complicated repair,
Right.
but they're doing it remotely
Exactly.
using AR to like
Yeah.
overlay instructions on the real world.
And you can use VR to create simulations
Yeah.
to let trainees practice in like a safe environment.
That would be so valuable for apprenticeships.
It could totally change how we train the next generation of electricians.
It sounds like the future of the electrical industry is going to be a pretty exciting ride,
Yeah,
with technology really playing a major role in how the work gets done.
it is. And while there will be challenges, there are also so many opportunities for innovation and growth
Right.
to create a more sustainable and efficient energy future.
Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to circle back to something we talked about earlier,
Okay.
the human element of all this technology.
Yeah, it's so easy to get focused on the shiny new tech
Uh-huh.
that we forget the technology is only as good as the people who are using it.
Right. And with this skills gap that we talked about before,
Yeah.
we need to make sure that we're investing in training and education
Sure.
so that workers actually have the skills to succeed as things change.
Absolutely. And it's not just about technical skills.
Right.
It's also those soft skills.
Yeah.
Communication, problem solving, adaptability, all that's going to become even more important as technology keeps evolving.
It's so true, because in the end, it's still people
Right.
who are designing these electrical systems, installing them, maintaining them.
Uh-huh.
They're the ones who make sure they're safe and reliable.
Exactly.
So investing in people,
Uh-huh.
it's just as important as investing in the technology.
Absolutely. It's
Wow.
about building a workforce that's skilled, adaptable, and ready for whatever comes next.
Well said.
Thanks.
We'll wrap up part 2 here,
Great.
but there's still more to come. In part 3, we'll talk about some strategies to solve this labor shortage, attract new talent,
Yeah.
and make sure the industry is ready for the future.
We'll look at the role of government industry education in supporting the workforce
Right?
and talk about all the exciting possibilities that lie ahead.
So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the final part of our deep dive into the electrical industry. All right, we're back for the final part of our deep dive into the future of the electrical industry. We've talked about the problems, the cool new tech coming up, but now I want to know, like, what can we actually do about all this? What are the real steps to make sure the industry is strong in the future?
That's the million-dollar question. And the good news is there are some really smart people working on it. One of the sources you sent, it really highlighted how important it is for the government and the industry to work together.
Yeah, they talked about grants for training programs, tax breaks for apprenticeships, and those partnerships between companies and schools.
Right. All those are important. Think about it. Governments can give companies a reason to create those apprenticeship programs or to fund training for the newest tech. It makes it easier and cheaper for companies to invest in their workforce.
It's like giving them a little push, right? And
Yeah.
showing them that it's good for everyone to invest in training.
Exactly. And industry groups, they can set the standards.
Right.
We need clear certifications that everyone recognizes so electricians can prove they have the skills. It's like a seal of approval. Good for the workers, A&D the employers.
Makes sense. Everyone knows what the rules are, what to aim for.
And then you've got schools, vocational schools, community colleges, even high schools. We need to show young people what the trades are all about early on. Let them see how cool these jobs are.
Yeah, I remember in high school, it was all about going to college. Nobody even talked about the trades. It was like everyone just assumed you had to go to college to be successful.
And that's just not true. You can have an amazing career in the trades, especially in electrical work. With the right training and all this new tech coming in, electricians can be real experts.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got the government, industry, and schools all working together. But how do we actually convince young people that being an electrician is like a cool and exciting job?
Well, one of the sources had a good idea. Focus on the money. A lot of young people have no idea how much you can make as a skilled electrician. You can often make more than someone with a college degree, and you don't have all that student loan debt.
It's true. And it's not just the money, it's that you know you'll have a job. People will always need electricity, which means we'll always need electricians. You can't outsource that or have a robot do it.
That's a big deal in today's world. So many jobs are uncertain, but the trades are stable.
Another thing that really stuck with me was this idea of showing how much technology is used. We need to move away from that image of electricians just dealing with wires and basic tools. We need to show it's a high-tech field full of cutting-edge stuff.
Absolutely. Electricians are using AI, 3D printing, augmented reality. They're on the leading edge of creating smart homes, installing renewable energy, making the future more sustainable.
That's a message that can really resonate with young people, show them the excitement, the innovation.
And don't forget about starting your own business. Young people could specialize in smart home installation or EV charging. There's so much potential.
So wrapping up this deep dive, it seems like the electrical industry is at this turning point. There are definitely challenges ahead, but there's also this huge opportunity for growth and innovation.
It's an industry bursting with opportunity for anyone who wants to be part of building a future that's more sustainable, more tech-driven.
And that's whether you're thinking about a career change or you're already an electrician and want to learn new skills. There's a place for everyone.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. And remember, keep those circuits buzzing.